Ecuador is in crisis.
He dado disposiciones claras y precisas a los mandos militares y policiales para que intervengan en el control de las cárceles.
The country's president declared a 60-day state of emergency after gunmen opened fire in a TV studio and bandits threatened random executions across its cities. President Daniel Noboa blamed the latest string of violence on criminal organizations operating out of prisons after one of Ecuador's most notorious drug lords escaped.
Lo que vivimos es una muestra de que las cosas deben cambiar en el país y que las leyes que tenemos no son suficientes para vivir en paz. Nosotros no vamos a negociar con terroristas, ni descansaremos hasta devolverle la paz a todos los ecuatorianos.
More than 3,000 police officers and soldiers have been deployed to recapture Adolfo Macias, also known as Fito, the head of the Los Choneros crime gang. It's an embarrassing development for the new administration that took office in November 2023, promising to control a crime wave that has turned Ecuador into one of Latin America's most dangerous countries. Signs of instability are a bad look for a country reliant on foreign investors to prop its economy and infrastructure development, particularly from its largest, China.
I think it's important to highlight that diplomatic relations between Ecuador and China have a long history of more than 40 years. They started in the 1980s. And in December 2018, Ecuador has signed its accession to the Belt and Road Initiative. China became Ecuador's largest trading partner, particularly in the purchase of non-oil products. And so right now, China is the main trading partner, followed by the United States.
For decades, the Andean nation had been considered an island of peace, sandwiched between the world's two largest cocaine producers, Colombia and Peru. But in 2017, the armed narco-trafficking group Farc disbanded in Colombia, bringing about a new era of relative peace. It also pushed violence south into Ecuador.
Ecuador is not producing much cocaine, but is becoming a very important logistical hub with wars between gangs to control territories in order to export cocaine, mainly to Europe.
With growing instability in Ecuador, Chinese investors have expressed concern. Chinese tech company Huawei has invested in telecommunication projects there since 2002, including the construction of the nation's first 2G, 3G, and 4G networks. Representatives from the company have told the Post it is aligned with Beijing's stance on the crisis and is concerned about the safety of Chinese nationals on the ground.
首先我们也在密切关注厄瓜多尔安全形势的变化。外交部呢已经指导驻厄瓜多尔的使领馆第一时间启动了领事保护的应急机制，正在核实在厄瓜多尔的中国公民和机构的安全状况。中方支持厄瓜多尔政府为维护社会稳定所做的努力，期待厄瓜多尔早日恢复正常秩序，也希望俄方切实保护好中方在厄瓜多尔的人员和机构安全。
Other Chinese-funded infrastructure projects in Ecuador include Esmeraldas Refinery, Coca-Cola Sinclair Hydroelectric Plant, Eloy Alfaro International Airport, Mina San Francisco Hydroelectric Power Station, along with several others. More than half of Chinese investment is in the mining sector, and although a security crisis is underway, Kilikoni says it is too early for companies to be concerned.
I don't think those investments are really threatened by what is happening in the country. The main conflicts in terms of particularly mining investments are more in legal terms and in terms of the local communities rather than with these criminal organizations.
The largest Chinese mining project in Ecuador, called Mirador, has sowed discord between indigenous communities who are often vulnerable to labor exploitation and the nation's elites in support of foreign investment. Kilikoni explained this dynamic is more of a concern than criminal gangs.
You have another project which is in exploration phase and it has not been able to pass that phase But as I said before, it's due to local conflicts with indigenous communities rather than problems with drug trafficking gangs.
But no doubt, stability is always a key factor for investors.
We know through international political economy literature that political stability usually plays a crucial role for the attraction of foreign direct investment. So in that terms, maybe the high political risk of Ecuador, they might play a role in terms of attracting less Chinese investments in key projects.
The latest flare-up of violence appears to have been contained for now, with the government claiming scores of hostages have been freed from gang-controlled prisons. Fito, however, remains missing, and Ecuador has a long way to go before curbing its escalating violent crime rates. Ecuador's murder rate hit 46.5 per 100,000 people in 2023, nearly twice the previous record set in 2022 and 8 times its level in 2018.